All right, we got a Q&A on the CU podcast here. This is from 5 different nachos. God, so starving. At Phil Tyler 80. 3 billion people worldwide now play video games. New report shows. All right, so this is a report from DFC Intelligence, IGN reporting, that as of mid-2020, there are nearly 3.1 billion global video game consumers. Nearly 8 billion people around the world. That means about 40% of our population plays video games in some form. The fastest growing segment of these consumers are those who only play games on smartphones. This accounts for almost half of all video game consumers. Of those 3.1 billion players, only about 8% are dedicated console consumers. So that's about 300 million with Pat math. But this group has the highest per user spending. That makes sense. You got to buy a console which costs hundreds. The games cost $60. That makes sense. 1.5 billion, or about half of video game consumers, are PC game consumers.
That's interesting to me.
That makes sense.
Well, it does.
I mean,
because gaming is a wide term, and a lot of things can be considered gaming, and lots of people are in front of computers. But I always thought of PC gaming as something that had become less popular for a long time, and then was slowly picking back up in popularity. To think of it as 48%, that is actually higher than I would have expected. I would have expected that number to have been. I would have expected the majority of this to have been mobile.
Well, I mean, laptops and netbooks have come down in price so much in
Sure.
the past 5, 6, 7. You can buy a decent computer for like $300 nowadays.
Oh, we should finish that. It's important to note, however, that this includes some overlap with gamers that also use console systems and mobile devices. So it's kind of an all-in-one thing.
Yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. I mean, how many people play a console that don't own a mobile phone? They might have a game going.
Sure.
I have to see, like, how do you define, like, I'm gaming on, like, am I a mobile gamer because I play a few different apps, like every once in a while on my phone? Do I count as that?
I would say that if there's a few games that you play on your phone that you regularly have gone back to, then yes, to some degree, you are a mobile gamer.
I have the Apple Arcade thing. I pay $5 a month. I'm a consumer of mobile games.
Yeah,
automatically. But it's interesting is that when they talk about this, they talk about it's wow. Why is the study $3,000 to add when I go to the DFC Intelligence website? Is that for real? They're charging $3,000 for the report. Well, it's market research, I guess. I thought that was a typo. Yeah, the report costs $3,000 to get the full report, or you can just request a sample. Sorry, I don't know if you saw that link.
No.
Anyway, wow. So what I think is interesting about this is that when we always talk about mobile gamers, there's a lot of games that are free. Obviously, you have to ask yourself, would these people be gaming that much if they didn't have a smartphone and these games weren't free? I would say more likely not. They wouldn't. You put the games in front of their face, they're going to play it. Oh, right. I'm traveling. I'm 75 years old. Oh, I'm going to play Scrabble on my phone. Ian's favorite game.
That's why everyone's played Solitaire on Windows, because it came with it. It's there.
Sure.
Double click it. It's easy to learn. Same with Space Cadet Pinball. Lots of people played Space Cadet Pinball on the Windows 95.
You always bring up Space Cadet.
I love Space Cadet Pinball.
But they always talk about, but not many people, by and large, are spending money to play mobile games. They talk about the average price. And when we hear CEOs of companies about, well, the average person spends $93 a year. That's an average, not the median. Mean and median are two different things, which people who don't know anything about stats don't know what a median is. A median is a central data point when you line them all up in a row.
Yeah, that's all it is.
So that means if there's like 100 people and 99 out of 100 spend $1 and the one person on the end spends $500, the average is going to be what Pat math. I don't know, like what is that, like $7 each or $6? But when you pick them out of a hat, the most likely person is going to spend $1. Like, that's a median. So that's how you look at these things. So most people aren't spending money on mobile games. It's what they call the whales.
The whales, yes.
That are spending hundreds of dollars a year on their favorite game. That's what balloons up the average price. That's why Nintendo found out that, hey, we can't spend $10. We can't charge $10 on an app because no one wants to spend $10 on an app.
Right.
So the average doesn't matter. It's the median. What's the most likely scenario? What's the most likely consumer going to spend? And that's next to nothing on this stuff. That's just the reality of mobile gaming.
Yeah.
So you can't expect them to want to spend hundreds of dollars just because you think, well, the average is $100, so that means we're going to all of a sudden have all these billions of people that are going to spend hundreds of dollars. No. They are gaming specifically on the mobile device because they didn't spend extra money to be gaming on that mobile device.
This
It's the Space Cadet thing. It's free. It's there. I'm
Right.
playing it.
This is a great little quote, comment from Progressive Liberal in the comment section on that article. Mobile gamers are not real gamers.
Oh, Jesus.
Casual pleb who plays Fortnite while taking a shit is not the same as an epic capital G hardcore gamer like me who spends 5,000 hours to play Witcheroo Geraldo 3 on a $500 racing chair. I earned my gamer card, goddammit.
Witcheroo Geraldo 3.
They really had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Having they had us in the first half. That's so fucking funny. I remember when gaming was mocked. I didn't care though. Been gaming since my 5th birthday back in '92. I don't see people getting mocked for gaming in the past 20 years.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't happen that much anymore. You're not. That's one of the things that drives me nuts with like some of the discourse that goes around about things. Gamers are not.
They're not discriminated against. It's not
right.
a protected class of citizens.
It's everyone plays games.
Yes. I think unless you're like above 60, it still might be foreign to you, in some way. Like, because like Frank played games in the sense he played Pong. Frank played Tempest. Remember video games? He said, "Yeah, I played Tempest."
Yeah.
But like, to him, it was like he was so old by then, it became a fad. It was gone.
Right.
For that. Like, I remember I went to a Thanksgiving dinner I was invited to last year, and there was people like in their 70s. And they found out that like I made some form of living through video games. They're fascinated by that. It was like, oh wow, tell me about that. Oh yeah, I hear like people are playing videos. Like my mom will send me random stuff. She figures out how to text me or emails me random video game articles. It's like, oh look at this esports thing that happened, because to them it's like so removed from their existence. They don't live video games day to day or week to week. But that's more and more going away, obviously. Now people that run corporations are like they grew up with video games, or you know what I mean, so or have businesses. So it's totally, it's basically how probably TV was to people that grew up like in the 30s with radio. It's like, oh, TV's a new thing, you know. It's
Sure.
like, that's how video games are to these older folks now. Trying to think what got replaced. Video games didn't replace anything though. It was just a new entertainment.
Yeah,
segment.
it's just more.
Radio got assed out with TV.
Yeah.
Damn it! How about some old Radio Time talkies? There used to be a station in locally that would do radio plays every Sunday, and I used to listen to it.
That's what I used to. That's when I like will run on a treadmill or something. I put on radio shows. Like I'll listen to The Shadow or something, because if I listen to music, I find myself always trying to match the beat of the music as opposed to
Really?
Yeah, my own pace.
Don't
So-
listen to any happy hardcore then.
I did. It's problematic. So so I listen to radio shows when I walk, because that way I don't get locked in. I don't subliminally get locked into a groove.
Ian, who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men?
Yeah.
It was really The Shadow. You went old time. Was the original recordings or
Yeah, I've just found them online.
in the 30s? They have them. Wow, that's all. I feel like listening to some of that.
You can find a lot of that
Are
stuff.
they violent-ish? A little bit. Give it a shot a little bit.
It can be.
That they had pirate stuff and cowboys and Indians and things. We're talking pre-comic book stuff. Like I feel bad for how, you know, the entertainment you were stuck with going to the movies maybe once a week or once a month, and radio shows every night. Get behind the radio. And you had that one. You know, how many radio channels do you think they had in the 30s? I'm trying to think how many they had back then. I gotta look that up. I have no idea if they had like 5, 10, 15, or 20 radio stations.
Yeah, neither do I.
Locally. Sorry, I feel like doing a radio show research show now for YouTube. Tap into that 85-year-old crowd that's on YouTube. Oh, I remember listening to them in the 30s. Jeez, that'd be like 95 by now. Sorry. All right. Well, anyway, that's our Q&A there about somehow we got off track. I don't know how to close this segment off. 3 billion gamers because
Closed
they
it.
have smartphones. We
That's
closed
it.
it. We're done.
We're done.